Who'd want to get this close to the Ringali Nebula?
I believe that is the idea.
Star Wars Squadron is a game that nails the Star Wars authenticity right off the bat. What's up, guys? Veteran Gaming here. And today I'm reviewing Star Wars Squadron. And this is a game that right from the beginning, right from the get-go, as soon as you fire it up, you will notice that everything is on point with Star Wars in terms of presentation and authenticity. The story itself takes place the prologue for the story takes place during episode 4, and then the main part of the story takes place post episode 6 after the Battle of Endor. What makes the story really fun and intriguing is the fact that you as the player actually play both sides, the Imperial and the Rebels. Overall, the story is good, and it does have some surprises that will keep you guessing all the way to the end. But once you get through the introductory, you get your character creation, and the character creation in this game is very basic. I mean, it is so basic and realistically unnecessary because throughout the game's campaign, you don't see your character at all. So the idea of customizing the look of your character is kind of meaningless. On top of that, once you get into the game though, the controls and the way the game feels and plays is fantastic. Right off the bat, the first thing you do going through the prologue and the tutorial is they have you doing some flybys, and like when you fly by some of these ships and when you know all the intricate details of it, it really shows how much attention to detail that they have. And some of the moments where you fly by a Star Destroyer is just awesome. But yeah, the combat is fun. I'm personally not a flight person, and I had a lot of fun with the combat. I think it felt great. Flying all the ships was great. The combat isn't so like dumbed down as you would think, as there is a need to balance your ship's thrusters, weapons, as well as shields if your ship has them. And what I mean by balance, I mean you may have to divert power from one to the other to strengthen the area that you need while exposing another area of your ship. Speaking of ships, there is a small variety of ships to choose from between both the Imperials and the Rebels. And I say small because that's due to the era that the story takes place in. There wasn't many ships that you could pilot that would justify, and I assume that they didn't want to throw in something that didn't belong. But not only are the ships small in variety, but there is loadouts to consider. You do have a loadout where you choose different primary weapons, different secondary weapons, and all of it impacts how you play the game. And regardless of how you choose, it's more strategic, especially when it comes to the game's multiplayer. The game does have multiplayer, but it's very basic. There's only like 2 modes to choose from. And to me, while it's fun, it kind of felt tacked on from the actual experience. And to me personally, this is best as a single player narrative-driven game. One of my personal quirks that I had with the gameplay of Squadron, though, is that there is no third-person perspective. While it's cool, you can be in the cockpit, and I understand why they did that. Although I didn't personally test the VR segment, apparently, from the people I talked to, the VR is really good, which is why the game takes place all from the first-person perspective. But as someone who doesn't play a lot of flight games, and when I do play a game like Battlefield or Battlefront, I do like my vehicles in third person, so unfortunately not having that was kind of a bummer for me personally. On top of that, I spoke of how the whole game's in first person. Well, the first person segments that take place in the ship that you, for your faction, where you're not actually flying, it's more for the story. It's okay. I mean, the story parts are okay. Some of the side characters are interesting, some of them are not. But the issue is you can't actually move. You really just stand still and then point to where you want to go and then go. You don't actually get to control your character, and it kind of felt disjointed from the rest of the game. On top of that, the overall gameplay when you're in the missions is very self-explanatory. Follow this target, escort this target, shoot said target. I mean, obviously it's a flight game, so how diverse could it be in terms of objectives? But it is very linear. At the end of the day, Star Wars Squadron is a very fun game. It has a very good story. If you're a Star Wars fan, I would recommend playing this game. If you're not a Star Wars fan and you're into flight games, give it a shot. If you're on Xbox and you have Game Pass, I mean, the game's included on EA Play, which is part of Game Pass anyways. So you have nothing to lose out to just try the game to see if it's for you. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. For everybody else, I still recommend this game. I still think, especially for a Star Wars fan, there's a lot that this game has to offer. And quite frankly, this is one that a Star Wars fan should not miss out. I'm personally giving Star Wars Squadron an 8 out of 10. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.